Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another season of Bro Talk. Folks, we are back. I know it's been since June since we took a break. Distant family stuff. We also had some things happen in between. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But so happy to be back here, man. Ike, brother, man, what's going on?
Man, listen, I'm just good to be back on this screen with you, man, side by side. And
Yeah,
and and I knew it was gonna be today. It was probably just gonna be, the two of us. You know what I mean, for a little while. But our brother,
yeah,
he's on his way. You know what I mean?
yes.
In
He's
proper
on his
Smith
way. Got to
fashion.
make a great entrance, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. But
And
yeah,
also,
man.
yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say in his absence, Mark is going
Yeah.
to the motherland right now, so that's why he's not here. But he says his well wishes.
Yep, he's on the flight, back to the land of black people to the left and the right of you. Man, it's beautiful though. Just
Yeah,
I mean, there's you go to the Caribbean and you kind of see that same atmosphere too, but you got just a lot of tourists there too. You know what I mean? So if you go to like a resort or things like that too, but you go to man, listen, we went to Ghana. It's like, oh, you blacks, oh, you the pilot, oh yeah, like this dude, okay. Everybody in the hotels, like, every Uber driver you pull up on you, it was just like a beautiful experience, man. So, yeah, shout out to brother Guthrie making that trip back to the motherland again.
yeah,
Go check out, the family over there as well. So cool, shout out to him, and then also safe travels.
yeah. And I mean, I still haven't been to Africa, bro, and it's the one thing I want to do in this lifetime, man. At least go a couple times. But my pastor just went recently. He went to Kenya, and man, he was just blown away, man. Just how beautiful the city is, and how technological it is. I mean, people think that, remember for the longest time, you
Sorry,
ever
man. Just go.
those info
Oh my bad.
oh no, you good. Those commercials used to come on late at night where you would see the kids with like flies swatting and seeing them like trying to get food and
Right, right.
needed
10 cents a day, only 10 cents a day.
oh man, bro, like that was Africa. Like that was what that was being shown, man. That is not what Africa is, man. Africa's beautiful.
Right.
Africa has all different shades and colors. Africa has all the things that's needed, man, to thrive, as a continent. So
Yeah, and y'all president, like, these other
who who
Americans, I'm
who
saying that
who
way.
who who
Like
president?
it's always talking about rare earth. Nah, not you, what I mean, but these other folks that are,
These other
watching
folk,
the
these other
media.
folk, yeah. Like man,
Yeah,
but
but yeah, there was some rare earth, man. And Africa definitely has that, man. From the minerals to the spices, the herbs, the just the soil, in general. Obviously the gold and all that people are always looking for. It's just a beautiful place, man. I'll give Africa another, let's say, in the next 15 to 20 years. People I think are going to be talking about that continent a little bit differently as a you know getting some more clout in the global marketplace. So
yeah,
love
man.
to see it.
I see Tracy already hit the chat, man. So Tracy, it's three of us, but we waiting.
Yeah,
Um,
Brock is here too. He's right in the middle.
oh, he's right. Yo, we ain't been on from no more than I can't even see the time right now, and we already
Hey
already
man.
got the jokes going. But now, Tracy, man, is coming on in a second. Yeah, man, appreciate you, man. Yeah, welcome back, man. It's good to be here. It's good to, yeah, it's good to be here. Just more on that in a little bit.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Here you
Yo,
go.
chat. While we waiting for my love, because I
Mm,
know you're gonna talk about it later, so I'm gonna try to get it out of the way now, so it's not a 3 hour conversation. But shout out to he's here now, man. I was about to say shout out to Monroe, and then try to make this a quick conversation, but I know he's gonna talk about it a little bit.
yeah, we
Um,
got to give him a little shy, man. Listen, not a little. a lot of
Yeah,
strides.
man, this is
They
big.
made history, man. Like this is huge for the city. Yeah, I'll talk more about that in the end. I'll wait till the end.
Yeah, yeah.
Tracy, what these dudes clowned just said, man. He said, you said he fouled. What'd he say?
Oh, now I was talking
I
about
don't
your
know. He said a lot
LB,
of things.
man. He not he's on, but he's silent right now.
Yeah. Yeah. Speaking of which, man, shout out to my Sands, man. We 23 years in as of
Yes, sir.
14 days ago, 15 days ago, 23 years in.
Hey, man.
Kudos.
The
Yes,
better
sir.
making of men. The school for the better making of men, man. No doubt, man. If it wasn't for you, brothers, I wouldn't be part of this organization. So definitely shout out to y'all, man. You got number
For real.
ones in
Yeah.
the what number ones here represented.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, a couple solos. So we here, man. But B, man, it's good to see you, bro. We
Likewise,
just want,
bro.
yeah, man. We wanted to kick things off and everything like that. But man, we got so much to talk about. I think it's good, man. Let's just jump right in it. First things first, we got to give people some of that life updates that's been happening, man. So, by love, you just had a whole season of football, and then I know there's some other things kind of going on. Ike, we're getting back into gymnastics again, man. But also got some things going on, and I got some things going on as well, which is why we're here today. We're here today, man, just to really one keep bro talk going. So that's one thing. I think we've been on for this our fifth
Fifth?
season. Fifth
Yeah.
season. Fifth
That's
season, bro.
crazy, man. Like,
Man,
Yeah,
time
you
man.
know,
flies,
thinking
man.
about it. Yeah,
Yeah,
and I know this is mad cliche when people say seems like yesterday, right? But
man.
definitely don't seem like yesterday, right? But
Yeah,
it doesn't seem like 5 years either that we've been doing this. So
Nah, man.
I'm definitely excited that we were able to kind of keep this going this long, right?
yeah.
And especially with our families and spouses, allowing us
Mm,
to do this. Taking up these Monday evenings, as well too, to make this happen, and make sure that we are continuing to push this idea of brotherhood and the importance of it, and supporting each other and being there for and with each other. So yeah, shout out to the family for that, but also just to you brothers, man, for starting this and keeping it going, because if it was up to me, like we would have been done after year two. But like I said,
well,
y'all, motivate me to kind of, keep going. And I know that, this is important, not just for us, as a brotherhood, but for others that, tune in. So, shout out to, brothers like, Tracy, and I don't know who's on right now, but, some of the longstanding, day ones, that
Andy
always logged
Rose,
on, and Andy, and
um, Vincent French, man.
yeah, French,
Chris
right, right.
Vicente, Chris Vicente, man. It's
Chris, yeah, Chanel, obviously, Brandy and Toya that jump on. That's where she be sleep, but she in the house.
yo, listen, man. Never mind. I'll wait till later. But she got a right to sleep. I'll tell you that. She got a right to sleep.
For sure, for sure.
Yeah.
Cause
But
she
hold
going
on.
to work tonight, and she gonna go get that overtime check,
Yeah,
and I
bro.
can't
That
wait because we need
yeah,
it.
that overtime is nice for them. Yeah. Uh, before we get started, I gotta say this before my love does. I want to give a shout out to my wife, Brandy Hayes.
yeah.
Listen, y'all.
I couldn't steal it from you tonight, man.
Okay,
I
okay.
couldn't. I
I'm
couldn't.
glad you gave it tonight. But I'll talk more about her in a little bit. But she is phenomenal, number one. But number two, when I tell y'all this woman is a godsend, I didn't even realize who I married till after I went through the thing that I went through. So definitely just want to say shout out to her. I love you. And you know, she's a big reason why I'm here today.
Yeah.
And
Big
I
reason.
will say this, man. Happy birthday, sis. Happy belated to you.
This
So
guy. He
no,
couldn't even like let it
no, nah, man.
Oh, you just say happy birthday to say, okay, I got you.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Just say happy birthday. Did she tell you? Toya and I ran into her last weekend,
Yes. Yes, she did.
man, and I mean, so we gonna touch a little bit more on that later too because
Yeah.
they had an idea that I thought was amazing and look forward
Oh,
to.
yes.
Brother
Yes. Yes.
Moses, blessings to you, bro,
Yes. Cause
and, and congratulations to the wife. You know what I mean?
yes. Yes, city
Yeah,
council. Yes,
absolutely.
man,
Tell her to be
absolutely.
easy on us when we bring them council items in front of them.
Hey, one thing I know about her, she gonna be fair and she gonna be consistent.
And man,
So, man,
and she's doing amazing things over at Connected Communities. So
absolutely, absolutely, man. So shout out to her, man. Shout out to my cousin, man, Shannon, down in Atlanta. Shannon, love you, cuz. Appreciate you, for being on. We talked to Tracy already. I can't see other people that's on right now, but as people come in, we'll shout y'all out as we're going, man.
Yeah,
So,
man, it's season 5, man. December 1st. It's our first show back in a while,
yeah,
and we got a lot to celebrate today. So if you are in the chat, like even just behind the scenes, just shoot us a smiley face, a thumbs up, a heart, a hug, or something. You know what I mean? Because
man,
we just want to know that you're here, and we want to be able to recognize y'all as well too for supporting us.
yeah, listen, if y'all could, speaking of that heart, man, send a heart, man. Just in celebration of my brother Kareem, man. Send a heart. Just let's celebrate my brother, my friend, man. Listen, he hold a special place in my heart, man. So y'all do me a favor, flood the
Drop them in there.
hearts, man, because I love this brother, and you know what I'm saying, and we are blessed that he is with us.
Yeah, I got the chat going on Facebook too, so they coming in. We can't see them
okay,
on our end on this platform, but they coming in, bro.
okay.
Yeah, so yeah, man, we appreciate all the love, man. Keep sending the love. You know what I mean. I know he'll talk about it more, so I'll wait. You know what I mean. I'll hold my mule till he gets into it a
That's
little.
old school right there. But that's like
Yeah,
Baptist church.
yeah. That's a shout out to my wife because I mess with her a lot about growing up Baptist. So
Yeah, man.
I thought
Well,
that was
hey,
some
man.
Mason stuff. Hold the mule, like
Hold the
you know, like
no, that's
right,
the
right,
goat. That's
donkey,
the yeah, that's the
right to
goat.
go.
Tracy, is that right?
uh,
You tell us.
oh, oh,
Thank you, brother Moses. But anyway,
Andy
hey,
Rose, man, we see you, brother.
yes, shout out to you. Thanks, man. It's good for you being on. Tracy, that's
We
that
know
guy
what
right
it
there.
is. We know what
Yeah,
it
man. So,
is.
how y'all brothers want to start, man? I
Man,
think,
I
man.
think I
yep,
think we just got to start where
yep,
and on some reflection, man. And I think Balel and myself, we need to be quiet for a second, and
Mhm.
then definitely kind of let you kick this show off. Right, you usually the one that ushers everything in and asking the
Usually.
questions, but I think today, man, we got to give you your time to talk, and
Mm.
this show, we definitely want to make sure we focus on you, bro.
All right, man. I definitely appreciate that. My wife tells the story actually a lot better than I do, but I'm gonna do my best to to tell it and give it justice. So, as most of you that are on should probably know that I went in for a second heart surgery procedure, and this time around, I was thinking I'm gonna go in, do the procedure, and I'm gonna be out in like a week and a half. And it's gonna be just like the last time, and because that's what happened the last time is that I was out in a week and a half, and then I just was home recovering, and everything was good. So, unbeknownst to me, because I just didn't realize what was going on, that well, first of all, I had a lot of things going on before the procedure, so they actually couldn't operate on me right away. They actually had to remove a lot of the fluid that I had because like my legs started swelling up, my feet were swelled up, I had like swelling, like even in my abdomen. And so a lot of they couldn't even like start the procedure until they were able to get that down. So they got that down and then they were able to perform the procedure. So the procedure they had to get done was they had to remove what they call pseudo aneurysms. So basically, I was bleeding internally from the heart. So blood supposed to pump throughout your body. Some of that blood was spilling over. And what an aneurysm is basically your there's like a ballooning that happens. And you hear about these people who have like brain aneurysms or heart aneurysms. If them things pop, and I'm using like layman's terms, you die. So I had to get this procedure. And it's funny because the day we went in, talked to the surgeon, he went on vacation, came back, it didn't operate on me. So I'm thinking this is gonna be an easy procedure. There's always risk in anything that we do, anything that's done, but whatever. I didn't know I was in the coma for 5.5 days. Like I kept having these recurring dreams. There was like a nurse asking me, "What's my name? Can you hear me?" And I'm like, "What is going on here?" Now I don't know what's happening. All I know is that I'm in this dream state, and I'm going between that dream and like something else. That was, I think, football was one of them. There was another one was I don't know, something that I was doing and going on, but it was a lot that's happening. So was in a coma for I think 5.5 days, and my wife said that I got so agitated once I finally kind of got up that I pulled the my love, what I do? I pulled the
He
breathing
pulled
tube
the
out.
IV out. He pulled out the IV.
Yeah. So
I
pulled
was,
out the
I was
IV.
there.
That's why I was like, you, I know you was there. So pulled that out, pulled the breathing tube out. Now, for those of you that are nurses or in the medical field, taking out your breathing tube and IV is not ideal. First of all, I could have lost my voice like altogether, like could have damaged my trachea just by taking out because there's like a balloon that they something they use in there to to do whatever they do, right? And so I did that, but and that was because I was hooked up to like what's called the ECMO machine, and so I was on life support. Yes, I know y'all was cuz so I was on the ECMO machine, I was on life support. My chest was open for what? 3 I think 3 days. So they had like a piece of plastic over me. And like literally they were like, "Yeah, we got to leave his chest open because if we got to go back in and operate, then we got to be able to do it." So and again, I don't know any of this is happening. Like at all. I don't feel no pain, like no nothing. All I remember doing is waking up. That's all I remember. And then like my wife looking at me. So I don't remember none of this stuff. So life support. My wife said that they had to use the what is it called?
Defibrillator.
Yes, the defibrillator, the fib yes, that thing to because my heart they had to reset like my heart rate because it was up so high. But because it was so high, I ended up getting a stroke. And the stroke, thankfully, in a weird way, broke apart like in my brain. And so it wasn't as bad. It was like kind of a mini stroke, but I had no use of my right side, like none. They said I couldn't move my arm, my leg, nothing. Like I was just limp on the right side. So had that going on, had a feeding tube. Like I couldn't even. I don't think I ate for like 3 weeks, like solid food, because of the stroke and everything like that. And then I was in the ICU for like a good 3.5 weeks, just trying to get better, trying to recuperate. But and I'm gonna write a book, and so that'll give you the full story, so everybody can kind of know, and because there's a lot to the story, and there's a lot of people involved in the story as well. And I'm looking to have people tell it from their perspective as well. So that more to come on that. But essentially, I went in for this procedure. It went left. They didn't know if I was gonna make it or not. The surgeon tried to give her some, you know, like, hey, like we did all we could do. We just gotta wait now. And I was in bad shape, man. Like really bad shape. Now again, I keep saying I didn't know this because, like I said, when I woke up, that was it. Like I woke up and I was like, oh, I'm up. And so one thing I want to do is show some gratitude. One for the surgeon. He did my surgery last time. Amazing. He's been doing it for 30 years. He's a chief surgeon at regional. Amazing, amazing man. And he also made me feel like good about it. Like he would come in, he would check on me and everything, and he would tell me it's gonna be all right and everything like that. And don't worry, God's got you. The nurses, some of them were in there praying. Um, and they were really taking care of me. Like when I was on the ECMO machine, there was a nurse for that. There was a nurse for, just about everything that was kind of going on. But the person I really want to highlight, and then I want to hear from you, brothers, actually, because I think that really tells the story, like from your experience. But my wife, y'all, like, I don't know if you was there by Lo or Isaac, but I mean, it got to the point where she brought the oil out and she was praying and she was praying loud. They said she was praying so loud that the whole room got quiet. Like they got quiet and then they asked her to pray for them. I mean, it was just like a remarkable thing. Also had a lot of people coming in and out. So I have the nickname the famous patient because every day I had somebody coming in and just checking and praying and doing all types of stuff. My church family was there. The you brothers was there. My blood family was there. It was just a lot that was happening and going on. But my wife is the one. I mean, she kept everybody afloat. What's going on? Like you would have swore she had like a news outlet because she was giving y'all reports, let you know what was happening. She was staying there from. She would go like in the morning, sit with me, go get the kids, and then she would come back and sit with me until it was time to leave. So she is amazing in that realm. But I'm gonna stop there because this is like a really long story. But I would love to hear you brothers, and some of your experience, and even in the chat. If you were part of that in the chat, if there's like a moment or something that really like touched you or affected you, we love to hear about it. Because this isn't what I realized that this isn't really about. It's about me, but it's not about me. Like there was something bigger that was happening. When all this stuff was going on.
I guess I'll go in. So what I want to start by also giving Mama Hayes her flowers, man.
Yeah, man.
She was a rock, and I mean, and stood on faith, and you
Yo,
know,
she still done business from what I was hearing, man. Like,
she stood on she stood on faith. You know what I mean? I
yeah,
mean, we talked for about an hour this one night. And so the the way I am is I'll go see or I'll go visit. You know what I mean? And I like a lot of the first early visits I went to see Cream. I would just go and sit, and whether it wasn't even about him waking up. It was just I just wanted to be there and have be present with my bro. So there was occasions like uh, family was there. Uh, um,
yeah.
uh,
Bama man showed up big time.
yeah,
Hmm.
for sure, and kept us. He was. I mean, he was. Listen, he was giving them nurses work. Like, yo,
Yeah,
what this mean, what that doing, what this mean, what that mean. Like, yo,
yeah.
and
They were like,
it,
"Are you a family member?" Yes.
yeah, yo, the machine doing this. Why is it doing that? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um, yeah, yeah, yo. So, I mean, just it was, so many folks. But again, just hearing the faith come from a mother who could have been in a very vulnerable place, but to see that kind of strength from her, man, it was that was powerful. To see the kind of strength that came from your mother and your wife. And to that end, you talked about, you shared about how you didn't have use of your right side. Y'all, anybody that has is listening to his voice right now, if you heard his voice in those early days when he first, started being able to talk, like, to see where he is now and to see him how he's moving now with the full functionality and mobility, like, you had to see where he came from. Like, again, being there, you just have no idea. And so for me the thing that was profound about it is, so Isaac and I, we were all in the office together when the procedure started, and then we all got the update at the same time, that they had to stop and place you on life support and ECMO machine and all that, and that you were still open. So we're getting this in real time, and we kind of, it's like we all like stumble out of the office and just kind of, it's just like, and we all like in this haze where it's just like, man, it just literally, it's like,
No pun intended.
yeah, like, we know it's real, but it's like, man, it's hitting us, like, and we're like trying to hold it together in the office. So I went in my office, and I got ready to pray, and then me getting ready to pray, the Lord convicted me, like, if you about to pray from a place of like fear, keep that, you know what I mean. And he began to remind me. So Kareem and I, a few days before he went in for the procedure, we're talking about a particular project that, we'll maybe sometime, you know in another episode we'll talk about the project, you know what I mean, because I think that project was kind of significant as it relates to all this as well. But we were talking about a project, and when the Lord convicted me, he said, did not tell you, what was the last conversation you had with your brother? And I was like, we were talking about, some projects that we want to do. And he was like, so if y'all got projects that y'all been talking about doing, then why are you about to pray like that the worst don't happen? Like, you afraid of something that might happen when he's got work to do. And from that point on, I went from a place of just like of like believing to knowing. It was like a place of wanting to believe to, I knew that my brother was coming out, and he was coming out like as if nothing happened. I mean, like, it was, and I mean, even to the point where I began to read the book of Daniel, and chapter 3 about the Hebrew boys, and just really how they came out and there was no evidence of them ever being in the furnace, and that was what the Lord dealt with me about that, and how Kareem was going to come out and have no evidence, like no evidence that he had even gone through something like this. And so, if when people see the book, and I text Brandy, and I told her, I said, sis, take pictures. And the Spirit said for me to tell you to take pictures. And it was crazy. So tying that to when me and Mama Hayes was talking, and I was sharing with her what the Spirit had told me, and she opened up her phone and began to show me the pictures, because she was like, the Spirit told me to take pictures.
Wow. I didn't see some of this stuff, everybody. I'm hearing for the first time.
Yeah,
There's just so much that transpired. I just don't know everything yet, which also why I got to talk to everybody at some point in time to get these stories.
Yeah, so we talking, and it's like, it was like the confirmation of how what the spirit was telling her, and what, what I mean, just those of us that were connected, and really, even I talked to Ken and I were
Mhm.
talking, and it was like, we
Oh
I'm
yeah,
like,
he was huge, man.
he was like, this is pushing me to a different place, and I was like, man, bro, you have no idea. Like, I'm not walking in a place of, like, I want to believe. I know, like, I know, and I'm it's almost like it's a confidence that would have somebody feeling like I was being arrogant. You know what I mean? If they understood the conviction, the amount of conviction I had in what I believed, and knew that God had said about how you were gonna come out. And so to see you again, just doing everything, it's praiseworthy, but it's so like, and to that end, I'm awestruck at what God has done, but I'm also like, this is what He said He was gonna do.
Mm.
Like, it's amazing to see, but it's like, this is exactly what He said He was gonna do. So I listen. It has been just heartful filling to see where my brother was and to where he is.
Yeah, you wouldn't even know, man. If you saw me today, besides some weight loss, you wouldn't know anything that's been going on. I mean, my scars are here, but you don't see those. Like nobody sees that. You know what I mean? It's just like even when I went to physical therapy today, and she's like, "So what do you want to work on?" I mean, you pretty much you're there. It's like, what do you want to do? So I was just like, well, I just want to work on my endurance, and even that, like they tested me today for my endurance. I'm in a great spot. It's I feel better now than before I got the procedure.
Look at God.
Like I
Yeah.
feel better, man. Like I sleep better. I feel better. I mean, I got, my stamina's getting better, my stability. I got use of my right hand, using that. That's everything that's there, man. But I think most importantly is that my mind is intact. And that was one of the things that they were talking about, a lot of times with that can happen from a stroke is that, some people experience memory loss. Some people have, their speech is really affected by it. They were asking me stuff like early on, and I was just telling them like, "Oh yeah, that's this is that, that's that person, I know them." And they always would ask me, "What day is it? What's the date? Tell me your name. When's your birthday?" And then like something else they would ask me, and I would just rattle it off, and they were like
And that's,
amazed.
that's the same. That's the same test they gave Donald Trump, and that's why he says that he's in. So if you in, you know what I mean, because that's the smartest man on earth, man. You got it, brother. Now, but this picture right here is kind of what kept me, from breaking down a lot of days. And just knowing that we would be having this conversation, right? That we would have a Bro Talk episode that, we had focused and dedicated on not, Kareem, who went through this, terrible thing. And, now he's, in a state, he's not the same person, right? Like I knew we'd be having this conversation. You would be the one that would bring us back together. You would be the one that say, "Hey, y'all ready to get back on Bro Talk?" Right? And we will be sitting here and having this conversation. And from my perspective, I just want to say, and you mentioned it earlier, so it's not like you forget. And I say, give yourself grace on this because there are so many people that in your corner, brother. There are so many people that love you. There are so many people that were showing concern, so you're not going to be able to, kind of remember everybody and shout out everybody.
Mm.
Um, but definitely, Ezra, she had, she was my eyes in the hospital
Come on,
because
I'm
those,
sorry. Come on.
Where's she
ladies
at?
and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen,
Hey,
this
what's up,
is
sis?
right here. That's the one. That's the one.
Absolutely.
That's one. That's one on one right there. We'll give you. We gotta give you an episode with the other with the wives and everything. But okay, she just wanted to say hi.
Give him a kiss.
Uh, okay.
Hey. That's love. That's love right there.
Oh yeah.
No, but definitely, I just want to say, like, those people that really know that I hate hospitals, and the fact that my wife works in one, hey, more power to her every single day,
Bro,
right?
she
So
came and saw me almost every day. I
that, and
mean
she was there,
that
right?
man.
So she
Mhm.
was definitely, my eyes and ears, in the hospital, and I didn't have to necessarily be there physically because I knew I was going to get a text message after every visit saying this is the update, and a lot of times, we'd be getting those daily updates from Bama in the group chat, and I'd be like, yeah, I already seen that, what I mean, because she was there and kind of giving that update as well too. So I definitely just want to, shout her out for, being there for you, right?
Mhm.
And,
That's the
every single
second time.
day. Yeah, right,
Remember? She was
absolutely.
there the first time too. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Being there and, it that's one of the things that I always struggle with is just like going into the hospital and seeing people in the hospital, but at like Balel said, at a certain point, I'm just like, yeah, this is not what the doctors are saying it could be, right? And what they're saying is it could be, right? So, I remember there was a couple nights where um, Ezra and I were just, kind of laying in bed, and we were asleep, and then I just woke up at like 2:30 in the morning, and I just couldn't go back to sleep. And that was one of those the days I think they were talking. They had you in the ECMO machine, and I'm just thinking, and my brain was going. And then 5 minutes later, she wakes up, and it's the same thing. Like she's just like, yeah, this is hard, this is tough. And I remember texting
Mhm.
Brock the same day, and he was up. You know what I mean? And we were chatting a little bit as well too. And then I think after that night, like I like also I just felt this calm, and I'm like, there is absolutely no way that we're not going to be able to have this conversation. I remember talking to you before you went into surgery. It was during our anniversary at Trick's house, and
Mhm.
we're just talking about surgery, and I saw the calm, that you had as well too, going into the procedure, and mentioned the procedure, and I'm just like, oh, that sounds kind of serious. Like, but I remembered your face, and I'm just like, yeah, that's what it is, and that's what we're gonna do, and we're gonna get through it. And that was the message that stuck with me, and that was the message that I carried with me until I heard, yeah, Kareem is getting out of the hospital today, right?
Mhm.
So from my perspective, bro, I just want to say one that the things that you went through, right, and the things that you've overcome, are not just any of the three things that you mentioned were are things that could have taken somebody out, brother. But we all knew that you had a. I mean, they call you the beast for a reason, right? There's a certain level of strength and determination, and no matter what the doctors were saying, like we knew you, right? We know
Mhm.
Kareem, and we knew that you were going to pull through that, brother.
Mhm.
So I just want to say I'm glad to see you here today, right? I'm glad to be able to have this conversation. Um, I can't say that I didn't doubt it at any point in time, but I definitely knew that we were going to be here again. So, bro talk continues. Bro talk
Man,
continues, man, and definitely, glad to be able to have this conversation.
man, I appreciate you, brothers, man. I mean, I've already said it to you all in private, but like, man, y'all brothers really, man, showed up. You know what I mean, and fought with me as well, because I didn't fight this on my own. You know what I'm saying? I mean, yeah, I'm the one that was going through it, but Everybody was fighting, man, and that was huge, man. And just a quick story. Um, I think when I remember, when I started making phone calls, because at one point I had been in there for a while. They had me in the bed, then I was sitting in the chair, and so I was starting to kind of get back to it or whatnot. And I just started make. I was like, you know what? Let me make a few phone calls, to bros and different people, man. I'll never forget this. I called Kenny, and I couldn't even give him like a minute. I just wept in tears. Like it was just, and I did that with a lot of people. Well, not a lot of people. I'd say I did that with certain folks. Um, because I don't know why. It just came. Um, y'all brothers. I mean, B came and saw me uh from Atlanta. Came left left the conference, flew back, and came by and saw me to the point where I was still kind of that in and out phase. I thought I was dreaming. Like I didn't realize that that was like really happening because I was still kind of in and out of sedation. And so B was talking to me, and I remember him, just like giving me an encouraging word and saying, "Hey, bro, like you got projects to do." And again, we'll talk about that another time. And I just remember B like, just being there, you know what I'm saying? And Ike talking to you on the phone, like, "Hey, bro," and you know what's so funny? I was also thinking about you because we had a project we were working on together. Speaking of projects,
Right.
and I was like, man, I wonder how that project went. And you said
Right.
everything went, pretty well with that project. But I gotta tell this story because this is like a story where I almost got in trouble for this story. So believe it or not, I was a very stubborn patient. So I'll just say that. And so
Believe me.
one after Balel came and saw me, I'm still thinking I'm in the dream state. So that night, I'm in the bed, and the only thing I can think of, I gotta get out of here. Like I gotta get out this bed. Now again, I think I'm dreaming. And so I'm like, yo, I'm gonna get out the bed. I'm gonna go, whatever. I think I had to use the bathroom. I think that's what it was. So
I was
I
still there
got it.
then.
Huh?
I was still there then.
Oh, you said
I had to go get the nurse because he was like, I got to use the bathroom. I said, bro, you still connected to all these machines. It,
yo, I didn't care, man. I was like, yo, I gotta use the bathroom, man. And now people, I don't know most if you don't know, they usually hook something up to your bladder, and then you will use the restroom that way or whatnot. So I don't know. I was like, but no, B later that night, like you were gone because the overnight crew was there. I remember this like clearly, and I remember my man too. And I can't think of his name right now, but he was cool. Not the dude with the tattoo sleeve. He was cool too. But there was another guy that y'all never saw. So I got out the bed. Like I got out, and just so you know, like the state I was in was really hard for me to get out the bed. Like it was hard, but I was determined. I'm like getting out this bed. So I got out the bed and went boom, fell straight on my face, and I laid there for like I don't know, maybe like a minute or something like that. Now the machines they know like what's going on in your room because stuff will start beeping and all that. The guy nurse came in and was like, "Oh," and then was like, "Hey," like, and they was trying to get me, like, "What happened?" And so, I mean, like 4 or 5 of them flew into my room, bro, and they was like, so they got me like stitched up and everything like that. And it goes, "What happened?" So I thought I was dreaming, and so I wanted to get out to the point where when I fell on my face, I have a new scar under my eye now. They had to give me stitches right here. Like they put the stitches in because I bust my face wide open because I was trying to get out the bed. Now, they could have restrained me, could have put me in restraints, but they didn't do that. And I think the reason why is because I said I was dreaming. I really did think I was dreaming. As and so the next day, I'll never forget this, man. Why my mom and Brandy was there. I was like, oh my gosh. I know they're about to tell him. So they told him what happened. And Brandy, she went off. She goes, this is terrible. She goes, what are you doing? Like, why would you do that? And my mom was like, now you know better. I mean, I had two two out of three of the women in my life just looking at me, shaking their head, like, dude, what are you doing? And then Brandy tells me, like, at like dinner last week, she was like, and I told them to restrain you, but they ended up not doing it. Because I was like, he don't even get up out that bed. I
it
mean,
be your own people.
it be your own people trying to get you shackled up, man. But the rest of the crew was great though, man. But that's just like one of the stories that happened while I was there, man. I mean, but you woke up that yeah, I did. Nate right there. What up, cuz? Yeah. I definitely woke up then, boy. Yeah. I think I was more embarrassed than anything, but it was funny. We had a lot of funny moments, and I think that's one of the cool things about like this experience, even though obviously, nobody wants to go through something like this, but there were moments of joy, there were moments of laughter, there was moments of tears, moments of hope. I mean, there was so many emotions that were flying around, during the time that I was there. And I do want to tell this right quick, and then I would love to hear from the audience if they have anything they want to say or anything in the chat. But I remember the day. It was like maybe like a couple days before they released me, and so there's this amazing cardiologist. I want to say her name, but I don't have permission to say her name, so I'm just gonna say Dr. G. And Dr. G was amazing, like amazing. So one day, because to give you a little backstory, so my surgeon would come in at 7 in the morning. That's just the dude do like 2 or 3 surgeries a day. He'll come in the morning. He'll come in, he'll check on me, he'll ask me a couple questions. He'll say, what's these numbers looking like? Okay, your account's looking good. And then he would say, you all right? I said, yeah. He said, all right, everything's gonna be all right. And then he would leave. Like that was it. Like he would just leave. So he was quick because he had to go see different people. But the cardiologist was there, who was part of his team, and she would ask me questions and everything like that. But one of the things I was like, yo, Dr. G, when I'm going home. Like that was in my mind, like when am I going home? Because I got to a point where I got tired of being there. And I was like, I want to go. Like I want to go home. I want to be with my family. I want to be with my wife, kids, and everything like that. And my kids, that's a whole different story because they went through
Yeah.
it. They really did. But they got through it. And we had a talk later on, kind of everything that was going on. Because Brandy was like just saying, Daddy be home. He's just resting and everything like that. Just so they didn't get too worried and everything like that. But with Dr. G, man, she was one of the amazing doctors, man. And so I had a couple days. She was like, well, I gotta talk to your surgeon because the surgeon signs off on everything. Like they cannot usurp the surgeon. So when the surgeon was like, when I seen him at 7 in the morning, first thing I'm thinking about, ask him when I'm going home. I was like, Dr. So and so, when I'm going home, man. Like he was like, we'll give it about a week. In a week, we'll come back and look. And before you go, you have to have like certain numbers or certain things got to be going right for you in order for them to feel safe to let you go home. So they finally let me go. They finally was like, "Yep, you're good. You're going home." It was a Friday. Don't you know I had to wait till Monday? So I had to sleep in that bed. Not only that, but they had to give me a mask. So it was like an oxygen mask, and then we had to sleep with that. and I think it was for everybody. We had to sleep with that, and I couldn't take it off. Like they had it where it was like locked. It wasn't like not like lock and key, but it was attached. Like I couldn't take it off, and I hated that breathing thing, man. Like sleeping with that because it pushes air in. It pushes air in, so you try to like kind of breathe in rhythm almost.
like a
It was
CPAP.
weird. You CPAP, man. So and I mean it was like this. I look like the dude from remember Bane from the Batman movie. That's how I look, and that I hated that thing. But anyway, it actually it worked really well. I just wasn't used to it. Um, I had to spend a whole weekend just kind of going through stuff, like going through that again. So I had sleeping and all that. Like I was good Friday, but because cause I had to go to rehab next. So rehab wasn't ready yet. So I had to wait for them to get a bed open for me. So I had to stay another weekend, man. That was the longest weekend. I was like, bro, I'm ready to go home, man, because they don't feed you everything. They was feeding me like puree food. I was like, what is this? They wouldn't give me no ginger ale. I was like, can I get ginger ale? But because I had the stroke, it was actually it's crazy how we don't think about this stuff. It was like hard to swallow. Like I could like if I wasn't being careful, I could have choked. And people have choked because they're not paying attention to what they're doing, or they're trying to eat like solid food. So I was eating puree food. Like even I had to eat ice chips. I got tired of ice chips, man. I'm like, yo, can I drink some water? Nope. And so the nurse, somebody had gave me like water. I don't think there's no, my ice chips melted because I was letting them melt. So that they hit the water. So the
Broke the
nurse,
code.
yeah, right. And so the nurse came in. She took my cup. I was like, hey, I was still drinking that. She was, yeah, Mr. Hayes, we can't give you this. I was like, oh my gosh. But anyway, there's like a lot of stories that happened. My wife can tell them a lot better than me, man. But it was quite the experience. Then I went to therapy, and therapy is where I started to get my independence back. So it was very slow. So I was still in a room, but now it wasn't like, oh, I'm hearing this for the first time. Yo,
Hey,
another what happened? Is it,
no, I said,
oh,
I said, hey, sis, he said a lot happened, man. You can't remember everything.
but therapy is when like I started getting mobility back. That's when I think the last 2 days I was there, I was on they started to take away my restrictions. Like I was able to walk in the hallway. I need to have somebody with me, but I was like walking in the hallway. Um, I could be in the room by myself,
Had his own
and
room.
yeah, man, I'm on room, man. I can. The last 2 days I was able to shower on my own. So the thing about the medical field, man, you don't have no room to be shameful because they're gonna be like, all right. I said, yeah, I gotta take a shower. They're like, all right, cool. You know them jokers got the room open, got the door open. And now they're not staring at you, but they like, kind of making sure everything is good. I said, man, this ain't it, man. This ain't it. Like I'm a grown man, man. You gotta watch me take a shower.
Hey, let me man.
Yeah,
I've been doing
man.
this for a while.
Yeah, just 41 years. I've been doing this on my own. But that was humbling. That was definitely humbling, man. And it's just one of them things where you just appreciate life. And it also made me too like have more compassion for people because two people actually died in the ICU while I was there. Two people had passed and everything, man. And it was, I felt for that, for the families, for that and everything, man. So just having compassion even for people in the states they be in. You know what I mean? Like sometimes we may see someone and we may think like, why they doing that, or how come this ain't, man? People going through a lot. People going through a lot of stuff, man. And there's a lot, um, that people are going through. They don't necessarily have the help. in order to do that, man. Or they don't have the family members like coming to see them or anything like that, man. So, I'm blessed. Like I know that for sure, man. I'm blessed, man, beyond measure. Just because of everybody. And the nurses they were like, man, you're a miracle, man. I mean, you got people that don't even believe in God, like you a miracle. And I'm looking at them saying, okay, but what are you talking about? Like I'm just me. But then after I kind of found out what was going on, I was like, oh, okay. I get it now. Why they're saying all that. So, yo, I don't know where we at in time, but shout out to brother Corey Johnson. Good to see you, brother Calvin Nixon Jr. Man, good to
Good to
see
see
you,
you,
bro.
brothers.
Yeah, man. Yo, his daughter killing it on the football field. Son killing it on the football field, man. So
Yeah,
shout out
keep
to
posting
you.
the videos, man. It's good to see.
Yeah, yeah. Thanks, Corey, man. I listen. The prayers were felt all the way from Arizona, man. So, yes, got a lot of work to do, man. But so, brothers, man, how y'all wanna kind of close this out? Because I think we're at like 56 minutes right now.
Yeah, man. I mean, I don't know what else we can add to this conversation, man.
Mm,
Just definitely want to say that we are blessed to have you in our life, bro. And when someone goes through something like that too, you really start to think back, and when you being as close as we are, we get a chance to, whenever we get together, reflect and talk about how things were. But I think this is a little bit different because we really introspect and think about not just how things were and what we did, but what this person really means to you, and how they impacted your life. And I can definitely say that there's been a lot of times, probably a lot of firsts that we had together, just a lot of memories that we had, and we honestly grew up together, and becoming men. So I'm definitely blessed to have you in my life, brother, and I'm just glad to be here with you, like I said.
thank you, man. I appreciate that.
Yes, sir.
Um, I'm, what I said, right?
Hmm.
I'm thinking, I just, I had a thought and it kind of overwhelmed me for a moment because we just coming out of the Thanksgiving holiday, and in this season of thankfulness and gratitude, and I'm just like, I'm thankful that my brother is here. You know what I mean? Um, for people who don't know, right? Um, so you know, I had my brother Kareem over at General, and then my brother Damiano was over at Strong,
Hmm.
covering from um, you know, a real, I mean, a horrific fire. You know what I mean? So um, you know, going from Strong to General, and General to Strong. You know what I mean? To kind of um, just be present, and let so they knew that I was there for them. I I'm thankful that my brothers are here. You know what I mean? Um, and I'll say it this way: the Winans had a song. Millions didn't make it, but I'm
Mhm.
glad that my brothers were one of the ones who did. You know what I mean? Um, as Kareem said, while he was there were people in the same unit who didn't make it. Uh, when I when if you saw and knew the state and condition my brother Damiano was in, and even how that all played out. You know what I mean? People don't live to tell those stories. You know what I mean? And so in this, celebrating this holiday season, I didn't have to bury a brother. So I'm just thankful.
Man, I
Yeah,
think that's the end right there, man. That's the way to end it, man. And yeah, I'm glad that my wife didn't have to become a widow and my kids had to be without a father, man. And for your brother as well, because I remember asking about him um in the hospital, like going through what I was going through, but still like, man, how Damiano doing? You know, and then I saw his picture up, man, with his wife, man. It blessed me so much. Man, wow. Man. Whew. All right, I wasn't
yeah.
gonna get teary out here, man. So I'm gonna,
Well, I'll
you
wrap us
know,
up and I just say, well, you heard it here first. Bro Talk is back. And we are going to be back here Mondays at 9 o'clock. So make sure you tune in to hear more about this the next part of our stories. It's been 5 years that we've been doing this, and I know some of you may have missed this in the beginning of the show. We're going on 5 years, man, and this fifth year is an absolute blessing. So we're just happy to be able to continue this. We hope that the stories and our experiences that we share here um, not just help impact us. We were talking about this earlier, but don't just impact us, but those of you that tune in and have been consistently watching us. We just ask that you share this platform with somebody else that you think could benefit from the messages. We're not doing this necessarily to get 10,000 likes. We're not doing this, to, even expand this platform. But if you think somebody could benefit from these conversations, these messages, man, just share the link and, drop us a heart, in the chat one more time for our brother, Kareem, who was definitely one of the ones that made it through. And we definitely love you, brother. I appreciate you. Walal, love you and I appreciate you for being there for our brother. And yeah, it's another season. Bro Talk kicking off today.
peace.